Yes, we are reading the hadith of Ubadah ibn Samit, one of the elders of the Ansar. Because he was present at the Pledge of Aqaba, he conveys it to us as a companion who personally experienced the Pledge of Aqaba. 2 years before our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, migrated to Medina near the Jamrat al-Aqaba in Mina, Mecca, on the night of Eid al-Adha, secretly at the foot of the hill. Our Prophet, together with his uncle Abbas, presented Islam to the people of Medina, and it was the event where the people of Medina pledged their word. The Pledge of Aqaba. There were 12 Muslims present at the first Pledge of Aqaba. At the second Pledge of Aqaba, there were 70 people from Medina, 2 of whom were women, and all of them were honored with Islam. Now, Ubadah ibn Samit, one of the people of Medina who was present at the first Pledge of Aqaba, tells us about the Pledge of Aqaba. Bay'at means a contract. Bay'at means giving one's word, providing assurance, giving a guarantee. In other words, before going to Medina al-Munawwara, the Prophet took a pledge from each of them individually. He took their pledge by shaking hands with the men, by making musafaha. Ubadah bin Samit narrates, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال وحوله عصابة من أصحابه. The esteemed messenger of Allah, peace and abundant blessings be upon him, delivered a profound statement while a distinguished group of his devoted companions, who were always eager to learn and listen, were gathered attentively around him, listening with great reverence and respect to his every word. The word esabe means a group. A group consisting of 40 people is called an esabe. If it is less than that, the word nefer is used. In other words, a group of more than 10 but less than 40 people. Bayi'uni. Pledge allegiance to me. Give me your word. Give me your word on these specific matters. That is, after explaining Islam, the Prophet would conclude his speech by taking a pledge from them. أَن لَا تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ شَيْئًا. You will solemnly pledge and promise that you will not associate anything, absolutely anything, with Allah, the one and only God. وَلَا تَسْرِكُوا. That is to say, you will not unlawfully take the possessions of others. وَلَا تَزْنُوا. That you will not commit the grave sin of adultery. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ. That is to say, you will not kill your precious unborn children under any circumstances. وَلَا تَأْتُوا بِبُهْتَانٍ تفترونه بين أيديكم وأرجلكم. Against those under your care by falsely presenting someone as their father or mother. You will promise that you will not commit slander. ولا تعصوا في معروف. And in matters that are righteous and good, in matters that are legitimate, acceptable and righteous, matters of the Quran and the Prophet, you will promise not to rebel against your leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Of course, the Pledge of Allegiance contains other articles as well. But these are the topics mentioned here. Yes, regarding the Pledge of Allegiance, different articles are found in different narrations. For example, between Ubadah bin Samit and Abu Huraira in Damascus, in the presence of Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, a conversation like this takes place. This time, Ubadah bin Samit is telling Abu Huraira, Ya Aba Huraira, إنك لم تكن معنا إذ بايعنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. When we pledged our allegiance to our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, when we gave our word, you were not with us. At that time, Abu Huraira was not in Mecca nor in Medina, because he was with the Prophet only during the last 3 years of his life. In fact, to be precise, he was with the Prophet for 2.5 years. We had pledged our allegiance to the Prophet, O Abu Huraira, on what matters? 1. على السمع والطاعة في النشاط والكسل. Whether we liked it or not, whether we were full of energy or tired, we promised that we would accept his word and obey. The second article, وعلى الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. We promised that we would enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong. The third article, وعلى أن نقول بالحق ولا نخاف في الله لومة لائم ولا نخاف في الله لومة لائم. And that we should indeed speak the truth always and not fear the blame of any blamer, steadfastly in the cause of Allah the Almighty. In وعلى أن ننصر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إِذَا قَدِمَ عَلَيْنَا يَثْرِبَ. We had promised to help and support our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, when he arrived in Medina. فَنَمْنَعَهُ مِمَّا نَمْنَعُ مِنْهُ أَنفُسَنَا وَأَزْوَاجَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَنَا. We had solemnly promised to protect the Prophet, the Messenger of God, from any and all harm, just as we would fiercely protect our own precious lives, our beloved wives, and our innocent children from any impending danger or threat. وَلَنَا الْجَنَّةِ. And in return for this unwavering devotion and ultimate sacrifice, the eternal bliss of paradise, with all its unimaginable rewards and divine blessings, would undoubtedly be ours to inherit. فَهَذِهِ بَيْعَةُ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ الَّتِي بَايَعْنَاهُ عَلَيْهَا. So this is indeed the solemn pledge that the revered Messenger of Allah, peace and abundant blessings be upon him, took from us, his devoted followers. This is the sacred promise we wholeheartedly gave to the beloved Prophet. And this is precisely how the profound and unbreakable pledge between us and the Prophet was truly made and established. Now here we see this. Among the noble companions, there is an exchange of views about the events, scenes, and depictions in Islamic history. Of course, Abu Huraira was not in Mecca at that time, nor was he in Medina. Abu Huraira had come to Medina al-Munawwara and later became one of the Ansar. But it means that Abu Huraira received this information from Ubadah ibn Samit, the representative from Medina, who was one of the 12 present at the first Aqaba pledge in the presence of Muawiyah in Damascus. Yes, this is narrated by Ahmad ibn Hanbal in his Musnad and by Tabarani in his work Al-Mu'jam al-Kabir.